Before we start, I'd like to say that the link for the video we used for this experiment is in the description box below. Lab 1, Decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. Introduction. In this experiment, we will be testing for the presence of oxygen using a glowing splint after the reaction between hydrogen peroxide and manganese 4 oxide. Research question. What happens to a glowing splint when exposed to oxygen? Hypothesis. The glowing splint will burst into flames. Chemical equation. 2H2O, which is hydrogen peroxide, plus MnO2, which is manganese 4 oxide, will result in 2H2O, which is heavy water, plus O2, which is oxygen. Variables, independent variables. Manganese 4 oxide, independent variable. Hydrogen peroxide, controlled variable. Amount of chemicals used. Materials. Hydrogen peroxide, dry 250 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask, glowing splint, manganese 4 oxide. Safety notes. Be careful with any flames used in the experiment. We will not be using flames in our experiment. Tie back any loose hair, remove any loose jewelry, have an adult supervising. Wear goggles, wear any extra equipment that your supervisor deems necessary. Procedure. Put hydrogen peroxide into Erlenmeyer flask, put the manganese 4 oxide in, stick a glowing splint into the flask to test for oxygen multiple times. Conclusion. In this experiment, we learned that decomposing hydrogen peroxide makes heavy water and oxygen and will light a glowing splint.